Hello everyone, welcome to Joko Outdoors. I'm Brian.
I'm Ken.
And today we're going to be doing some more reviews on ESH Custom Calls. We're doing their mouth call reviews today. So before we get into that, if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, give us a big thumbs up, and leave a comment below. All right? We appreciate everything that you guys have done for us. We appreciate you tuning in and viewing. Thank you for all the return viewers that's come back and watched. Continue to share our content. Leave your comments below like you have been. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right. So we're going to be doing some calling with these diaphragm calls from ESH Custom Calls. And I've got two right here I'm going to show you. I'm going to go over them real quick. We got... This one's called the True Hype. It sounds like a raspy old hen. So far, I mean, that's my favorite one so far. I'll tell you why later. And then we have the Touch Point. See if I can get that to, there we go. That one's a cutter. We're going to talk a little bit about these right here. I'm going to tell you about the Raspy Old Hen. It says the True Hype Raspy Old Hen, it's a 3-reed hen. It's an inverted batwing, but it also has rasp splits, and I'll show it to you right here in a second. All right, it says it's a must for the run and gun hunter with its high volume two-tone notes, and is a favorite to many looking to take calling to the next level. All right, so this, I mean, when he says it's a raspy old hen, it really sounds like a raspy old hen because this thing is raspy. The Touch Point, it's a 3-reed combo. It's user-friendly. It's a user-friendly call that can do it all, from the softest cluck and purrs to the loudest yelps and cuts, to locate those distant gobblers. Now, this is it's a right cut combo reed. Okay, so it's a right cut cutter. With mouth calls, based on where your airflow is, you might need a right cut, you might need a left cut. So they do have a left cut as well. I think you got the left cut, right?
I gotta look, I think so.
I think he's got the left cut. All right, so let me show you, I'm gonna show you the True Hype, what it looks like, see if we can talk a little bit about it, all right? Gotta pull it out of my mouth. All right, so I'm gonna pull this up right here. Here's your True Hype. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. Here's the True Hype. You can see where it's cut right there. And then you can see the little slits. You can see the slits in it, okay? That's a part of where that rasp is gonna come from. See if I can get that to focus a little bit more. There we go. So that's what this one looks like, okay? Now let me get out the Touch Point. Touch Point, right side cutter. Come on, there we go. Now, you see this right side cutter with the slit right there. And this thing can get loud, all right? You guys will see in a little bit that this thing can get loud. But they also come with these reeds right here, or the reed separators, okay? So these little separators you just put in between the reeds, and it keeps them from welding together, sticking together, something like that. Honestly, the best way to put those in there that I have found is maybe have a little toothpick or something to separate them already, because when you try to put those in there,
it's a pain.
It can be a little bit of a pain, but when they're in there, they work great.
Yep. Okay,
so Ken, I'm gonna let Ken talk about his, and then we're gonna see what these things sound like.
Okay. All right, so I've got one similar to what Brian has. Mine's called the Easy Cutter, and it's very similar to the first one he showed you. The difference is this is a combination call, so it's got a reverse. It's a reverse combination, meaning that they laid in reverse, so it makes a really nice, easy cutter. I mean, just like the name is, and it's the same thing. So it's for it's friendly call. Soft clucks, purrs, loudest yelp, cuts to locate distant gobblers. And it's one of my favorite ones so far. I mean, Brian likes the Raspy Hen. I love my cutter. I've always been a big fan of the cutters. I like the cutting type ones. Now, the other one is called the Connect. This is a young hen. And this one is a batwing, 3-reed batwing. And it's says it requires very little air to use. Great call for those spring mornings, tree calls, or a great high-pitched calling. So any of these 4 calls would be a very useful tool. Now, most turkey hunters, including myself, we carry 5, 6, maybe 8 different mouth calls in our vest, because when you got to get up and go to a gobbler that's running away from you, you ain't got time to tote a pot and a box call and all that other stuff. You got to use something else that you can, like I said, his thing said, a run and gun. That's basically what you're doing.
Well, and you know, the pot call, you might have the spots for the pot calls and stuff, but whenever you're trying to chase that you know, gobbler down, it's a lot more time to have to pull the pot call out, start scratching everything. You can keep this in your mouth, and when you get close to them, or you know, you hear that they're starting to head in your direction, it's right there for you. It's convenient. Now, as convenient and inexpensive as it is, it's also the toughest call to use.
Yes.
You know, the mouth call, the diaphragm call is the toughest call to use. I was out of practice for a long time, but you know, we got back into practice, and you know, again, we're not professional turkey hunters. We don't do it 45 days out of the year.
Wish.
I'd love to. So if anybody out there wants to bring us onto a turkey hunt, we're your guys.
I try to do at least many as I can, but we all work full-time jobs. So
we almost got a turkey today, didn't we?
We sure did. Oh my word! That gum hen pulled right out in front of us.
I'm talking
she
about.
She didn't even signal or nothing. She just came right on out like she didn't even see us.
2 foot from the grill of my car. So, all right. Funny story with that. Anyways, so. You know, practice these, practice. Any chance you have, if you're on your lunch breaks, sit in a car, practice, because it's going to take practice to get good at this. And I'm not the greatest in the world, but hopefully, you know, we're good enough where we can call in a turkey with it. So, you want to do yours first? You want me to do mine?
You go ahead, since you already got yours.
Yeah, I'm trying to get mine warmed up. So I'm gonna use the True Hype, the Raspy Hen. I like the way this thing sounds. I love it. I don't get me wrong. I like the cutter too. The cutter's awesome. That touch point's awesome. But I just love the rasp on this True Hype. So let's listen to it. We're gonna start with some yelps and see if we can get into some clucks and some cuts, and you know, maybe some purrs. I'm still kind of working on it, but we'll see. So, I really like the way that sounds. I love just the rasp of it. And the cutters are great, but they have a little bit different sound. You still got the turkey sound, but it's not as raspy. So if you really want to get that gobbler moving and you really want to get him going, that old Raspy Hen that's been out there forever that he's, you know, maybe come in contact with before, this is the call to go to. All right, I'm gonna let Ken do one of his, and then I'm gonna warm up my other one.
So it's the easy cutter. And little pro tip, when it comes out of the box, if it doesn't fit your mouth, trim it to make it fit your mouth.
Yep.
Because they're not, you know, this is not one size fits all, and everybody's palate is a little bit different. So, you know, the little contour on the top of your mouth is different for everybody. So you can trim this out if it's too far back and sticking in the back of the mouth. But let's get started on this one. This is called the easy cutter. Much higher tone than the Raspy Hen.
Yep.
And It does. This thing cuts, I think, better than some of my previous other cuts that I've or mouth calls I've used, just because of the way this is designed. And I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you can pick that up. Let's see.
You should be able to.
All right, yeah, right there. So see this big gap right here? All right, that's what makes this thing so effective for for beginning users. And so I said pro tip because I realized I have not trimmed this one up yet. I've got a little bit smaller palate on my mouth, so I got to make usually have to trim the back off just a little bit to make it fit my mouth a little bit better.
And make sure you're only doing like a 1/16 of an inch,
don't go
32nd of an inch, just a little bit at a time.
All right, see if I can purr. Okay, so as you can see, that cutter, easy cutter, it's a pretty easy mouth call to use, but as Brian had mentioned, practice, practice, practice.
Yep.
Because you got to get used to something vibrating in your mouth. Because that's one thing about this. When you first use a mouth call, it's hard to get used to that something vibrating against the top of your mouth. So that's one thing about mouth calls. So they're not the easiest things to use, but they're by far the most effective if you can use them properly, because now your hand's free.
Yep.
You don't have to use your hands for anything except pulling the trigger. So that's the easy cutter.
All right. So we're gonna get to do the touch point next, and to refresh on it, it's a 3-reed combo, user-friendly call that can do it all, from the softest cluck and purrs to the loudest yelps and cuts. All right, this is good for locating gobblers. All right, so I like this call because of that reason, because you can get loud with this thing. The other one's raspy, but I like this one because you can get loud and you can reach out there to those gobblers, okay? Well, you see, we got, just like it said, from the softest clucks and purrs and, to the yelps, locating. I mean, it got soft, it got loud. It's great. Look, he's got great product. They've got great product over at ESH Custom Calls. I love the cutter. I like the sound of the raspy a little bit better, but that's just me personally. If I'm out in the field, I'm probably going to start with this one. That's probably what I'm going to do, just because it can reach out there. The other one can reach out there too, but this one can go, I feel like it can reach out further. So I'm going to let Ken do his.
All right, so just a reminder that this is the young hen, and they put on the back that this is for early morning calls, when they come down from the roost to regular calls. So this one's a little bit different sound. It's a batwing type call, and it's got a little bit different sound, and you got to keep in mind this is a young hen. So young hens don't have that deep raspy sound. They've got a very high-pitched, very crisp sound to them, that whereas a raspy hen or a hen in general have that brrr sound to them. So that was a fly down call, and then on the ground when they land, calling for their people, for their people, calling for their to let them know where they're at. So turkeys have a lot of different calls, a lot of different sounds for different purposes. Yep. Mostly they associate the purrs with "I found food, come over here." The clucks are for alerting, where their other hens, to let them know where they're at. And then they got, calls that are for distress, to tell them that something's at. And that's one of the things you need to make sure you don't do, is make a distress call, because
and that's what I was going to say about
scatter them all.
That's what I was going to say about the purr too. Is I've watched a lot of videos about that, and I've had a lot of these guys. There's one guy that works for Mossberg. I'm trying to remember his name, but I mean, they said that when you have the purr and the cluck together, that's usually the distress call. That's like a white-tailed deer throwing up its white tail or sitting there stomping. Right, exactly. Yep. So don't do the purr and the cluck, because that's usually a distress call of, hey, something's not right. At least all the videos I've watched have. If you're a professional turkey hunter and you know any different, let me know, because I want to learn.
We want to make sure that we're not on the wrong page here.
But as far as the calls go, they're good quality calls. I mean, I think they sound really awesome. Again, if you go on their website, to say all ESH Custom Calls come with a lifetime warranty. So
even their mouth calls.
I don't.
And they tell you to put the reed separators in there, and if you don't, what can happen is, over the course between this season to next season, your reeds will they'll seal together.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know for sure, but I imagine if that happened to you and you called them up, they'd probably send you a new mouth call, just because they are a great company. And as I've said before about other places, about other things we've reviewed, a warranty that is worth its money, or is worth having. So if a company says lifetime, and they mean lifetime, that stands in a long place for me, where you don't have to worry, what's going to happen.
Right. Yep. So you guys go. We'll put a description.
Right down into.
We'll put a link in the description,
and we'll put some information about the calls as well down in the description, so you can differentiate about which one.
Go check out their sites. Go look at them. You look them up. They're great. They're also doing custom pot calls now, where you can go in and you can order a custom pot call from them. Yeah. So hopefully we'll be doing a review on those, one of those here sometime soon. Go check out our ESH pot call review, the turkey pot call review.
We'll link it right up yonder.
Yep, from ESH Custom Calls. Go check that out. Look at that. Tell us what you think about that too. We appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your support. First and foremost, we could not do this without Jesus Christ,
that's right,
our Lord and Savior. So, we thank Him first and foremost, but we thank you guys next, because, without you guys, the channel wouldn't grow either. So we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we love you guys. Y'all remember that this is God's country.
God bless y'all. Love y'all. We'll see you on the next one.